And that's like what? Maybe one day left. How about if I just send email to them? It's going to be faster. And what are we going to do if we don't have any technology? Are we going to just, write the mail down? It's probably already take 1 day already. And just send it maybe by EMS. It's going to take another 3 days or 4 days. And your friend knows it. Oh my God, the scholarship! I'm so happy. But it's already expired. Oh, too bad. And you know what? IT technology is also helping in memorizing things, like your friend's birthday. And if you memorize in your cell phone, you're gonna know it. That's why I think IT technology is important to us. It's very necessary. Thank you.
Thank you for your idea, and your time used for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And please welcome the third affirmative team.
Sorry, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's the lunch? Good? Yeah. So let me see. I think IT technology is harmful to students. It's so many reasons that's really harmful to students. Let's see. It's mainly students to material that would otherwise not be made available to them, like pornography. That you can say the porn movie in the garden, but I think in the laptop that you in the room and your mom come inside and what are you looking for? Oh, my homework. But that inside you hiding your nude picture or the porn picture that you can't just lie to your mom. It's just too bad. Okay, and you can use it inappropriate way. That what I say pornography, and otherwise against the attitude to government and other thing is disrespect other the comment of the actor in the internet. You cannot blame them. You cannot just say how they bad and they just the comment thing is if the bad thing is in the comments it's just too bad. Yeah. Okay, and the second reason I think IT can lead. IT is a waste of time and money. If you say that you can go play a football or playing basketball is waste of time too, but it's like benefit for your physical. But in a computer, you stay too long. In the computer, is like harmful to yourself, like eye strain, like your brain not gonna work so well. Just like waste of time and money. Money, like you go to internet cafe, it's like internet cafe now is like the business for all of the world right now. And the thing that the internet is unreliable. Can you see that they have no proof that it is real in the internet? That the book can be more real. Like you go to a library, they have the order. They write from who, but the internet, no, they're not exactly sure who wrote it, and maybe it's not the true information, but in the book, otherwise you read the book and you might get real information, And another thing I would like to say is that IT promote illegal actions. For example, movie, you download the song, and you download the song and just watch it and using other document without the permission, like copyright, and that's just wasted, and that's just too bad. And otherwise, IT is using internet. Oh, okay. So I think internet is wasted of time, wasted of money, and IT is harmful to high school students. You know what? When you play hard. When you work, don't play at all. So I think it's good. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you for your speech. And your time was 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Please welcome to the speaker of negative team.
I would like to thank the
affirmative house first. But what they said about a waste of time and money. What about tutoring? Don't we go to tutoring? That's just like getting information off the internet. That costs a lot of money, doesn't it? IT technology can be good, not harmful, if limited properly by our guardians. What the affirmative side has said about copy and pasting. If we send any copy or paste work to our advisors or our professors, don't we get mark deductions? We don't just get full marks, do we? We get deductions for copying because they know. And I would like to question how they know so much about inappropriate websites. From what they said about the overuse of computers can cause syndromes, I would like to ask how they got that information, if not with IT technology. Right? They might have got it off the internet. That's using IT technology. That hasn't done them any harm. That has done them more good than it has done any harm. Humans create IT technology, creating it for the better of mankind. And these humans were once high school students, so they know what it's like. They wouldn't want to destroy our future generations, would they? Because these future generations grow up and make our world a better place. So if they were to destroy this, if IT technology was harmful, that would just be destroying our own nation, our own planet. Who would want to do that? So you see, IT technology is not that harmful. Has it done any harm? Think, in the past, has there been any major news or catastrophes about the misuse of IT technology, how it harmful high school students? I believe IT technology is not harmful to high school students, but harmful to others. High school students can use this IT technology properly if limited. And we all have parents, don't we? They look after us. They want us to do good, not bad. Whose parents want their sons or daughters to be bad? No one. And about the misuse of cell phone. It's a waste of time and money. Really? Is it? You wouldn't use a cell phone and talk to the person next to you, would you? You'd be, hello, can you hear me? And then the person's right next to you, a meter away. They would still hear you without a cell phone, wouldn't they? And if they were halfway around the world, is it a waste of time to call them? Taking an aeroplane to where they are and speaking to them and talking on the cell phone is a lot of difference, isn't it? It's not a waste of money. It's efficient. So I like to say again that IT technology is not harmful to high school students. It benefits high school students. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your opinion. Your time was 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And now let's hear from our replies from the negative team.
Left side, this one.
Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes when I speak, I feel like I'm banging my head on a jagged rock. They don't seem to understand the point. I'm saying that pornography is avoidable on the internet, while on markets we can't avoid them in real lives. And threats on the internet are far less worse than threats in real life. You don't find bombing on the internet, right? You don't find people pointing you with a gun on the internet, right? You only find good things on the internet, right? Yeah! So, may I acknowledge my genuine appreciation that there are also bad things on the internet, but I believe that high school students are at a considerable age that they can choose whether they want to use the good thing or the bad thing. We have enough knowledge, and by saying that we can't choose and we are turning to porn, turning to violence on the internet, you are looking down on the values of our intelligence. Is it right? We are smart. We can choose. We are high school students, right? And as my second speaker and as my third affirmative negative has said that using IT technology helps us memorize small bits of information. It is good because we can use other parts of our brains to memorize a lot more of information. We can remember knowledge and information. That is why I believe that IT technology is vital to our education. And as high school students, we are a promising future of the human race. And you're saying that we can't use IT technology. And so I ask you, how do you wish the human race evolve? We are going to go back to the Middle Ages where we light candle and read books. Well, you go alone. I'm sticking to IT technology. And the issue on piracy. Well, let me remind you that piracy has been here a long time before the introduction of IT technology. And it is the human that misuse the IT technology to create piracy. And I believe that good people again can decide, and I believe that all of us here are good, or the affirmative are not. Well, I doubt that. And so I would like to remind you that as high school students, IT technology is vital to our knowledge, vital to our lives, and vital for the future, for our next generation. I would urge you to consider that before deciding which side is better, because I believe that you all incorporate IT technology in our everyday lives, bit by bit, little bit by little bit, but it is vital to our lives. Is it not? I see no hands. So that's why I think IT technology is so important and so more important to our youngsters, our high school students. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your speech, and your time was 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Please welcome reply speaker of affirmative team. Please welcome.
And it's finally my turn. And now today, we have very two different ideas here. One saying the other way, and one saying, well, one saying one way, and the other one saying the other way. I would say it's no right or wrong in this. It's nothing in this world that only have evil side or good side. It's all good and bad. Well, I didn't say you that you can't use the IT. I was saying that it's harmful. I didn't say that you can't use internet or IT things. Okay, I will clarify more how is it harmful, and I will answer to your questions. You were saying that high school have enough ability to judge what is good or what is wrong. But not all high school students can do that. They don't know which one is good or which one is bad. You can find almost everything on the internet, even the inappropriate information, like how to make a bomb. You see all the cases that they have been using the info from the internet to make a bomb. Not everybody in this world knows that is not good. It's no guardians here. They were saying that they will have the guardian to guide them through the internet, through the IT, how to use it right. But anyone here teach their children to do that? I'm saying that not so much parents can be home and look after the children all the time. Well, they may be with their friends and looking through all the websites that have wrong information. They can have wrong perception that maybe Nazi is good or the good is good. Who can teach them that is not good? Nobody is gonna be with them all the time. They will go to that on their own. And you know, IT have all those like motion and changing in scene that can attract the students. Well, it's just like watching a movie, and they can influence you. Okay, let's see what else. Well, let's see about the cell phones. Is there any teacher here? You know the students use cell phone all the time, right? You have that problem all the time. They use it, no matter what you say to them. Well, not all the school students, like in your school. In my school, they have like 4,000 students, and they come from different places. They don't know which is good, which is wrong. And we don't have enough people to guide them, which is good, which is bad. Well, that's one point I want to clarify. And let's see what else. Like a video game. I didn't say that is that all harmful. I was saying it took all the time that you should supposed to do other things. Video game may help improve your IQ. But if you have IQ and you don't have like all the physical ability, how can you gonna survive? You're gonna be like all fat and just sit there, cannot move with your high IQ. How can that be useful? That is not useful at all. Well, and also the pornography. Well, I didn't say that it's only available on the internet or the IT. It makes it easier to access them. Some like, if it's in the mall, not everybody can go and buy them. It's not just like you can go into 7-Eleven and say, I want a pornography. That's not possible. Well, the IT, you can go there without anybody. Like you yourself alone, you can go there. Nobody gonna know. It's easier and not much people can resist it. Agree? Well, the judge here don't even use computer to type in all the score. It's good to have your handwriting. When you write something, you remember it, you memorize it. Well, I would say other people here should know that writing down is good. Other book is made for like writing. You see other exercise. Well, that's not much on the internet. You can express yourself more by writing. And when you write, you know which one is wrong, like all the grammar that you like practice yourself. But if you use like Microsoft Word or word processing, it's corrected for you. You don't even know if it's wrong or if it's right. You just type it down and it's auto-correct you. Well, my time is up. And then thank you for everybody here. And I wish I give you all the information you have to judge. Thank you very much.
That was thank you for leader of affirmative team, and your time was 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
And yes, thank you for both of team, and it was such a great competition. It was also cool, very cool.
And I believe both team they are giving hard time for the
educator to decide what the score will be. Yes, and this match, and this match will be the last match for today, because according to our consent of the agreement that the team that draw and match out.
So thank you all entertainment team. So we hope that you guys enjoy it. And right now is a great time to start the first match of the semi-final round. Both teams are looking fired up today. Right?
Yes, they are looking very sharp and ready now. So
first of all, we'd like to invite both teams, the Waranani School and Washington School, have a seat.
Please come up front. That they are very sharp and ready. Yes. So we would like to introduce them first. The Waranani School as the affirmative side, and the leader of affirmative is Miss Benedict Hyber. And the second affirmative is Mr. Akarapon Tongpoon. Of affirmative is Miss Malika Hundrani.
And Washington School as the negative side, the leader of the negative side is Mr. Patrapon Rakayu. And the second negative is Miss Supriya Sen. And the third of negative is Miss Pishya Limpana Pityathon.
Also, we would like to introduce our lovely educator today. Please give a big hand to Dr. Yoshifumi Harada. Assistant Professor Jongpin Sirirat. And the last one is Assistant Professor Somma Julikapong. And before we will start the competition, I want to remind you guys that about the adjudication. 5 panels of adjudicator will adjudicate on the awards of marks in 3 categories: 10 points for the matter, 10 points for the method, and 10 points for the method for individual speech and team response to the dynamic of the debate.
Yeah, so are you ready now? Yeah.
And before we start, I want to inform all of the competitors that the limit line that you will give the debate is only the table. Okay?
Okay, so everyone's ready now? We all would like to apologize again for the technical problem, but so right now we are ready. And so it's time to start the first match between Waranali School as the affirmative side
and Mahavashirawa School as the negative side.
On the motion,
this house believes that earth warming is responsibility of rich nations.
So please welcome first debater, the leader of affirmative team. So please welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, judges, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're on the topic, is the earth warming the responsibility of the rich nations? And we say that it is. Firstly, it is their responsibility because they have the money to do something about it. They have the funds and the ability to get rid of the earth warming, get rid of the population problems and the climation problems. Also, they make most of the factories. They have the different factories in their countries, and they have a lot more of them, which means that they make a lot more pollution than the poorer countries, which have only a few. They are also overpopulated, and overpopulation makes us have Earth global warming because when a lot of people are in one space, it makes the Earth hotter. And also the cars on the road. When you look into America on the highways, the cars are all jammed up, and this is what makes the pollution problems. Well, you could say that in Bangkok, yes, we do have the traffic jams as well, but to compare the traffic jams in Bangkok and the traffic jams in America are totally different things, because it might look like a lot here, but once you go there, they have a larger scale, they have a larger area, which means that more cars can fit into that area, which means that more pollution will be in that area. They also have a deeper carbon footprint because they have been here a lot longer than the poor nations. So their pollution problems have been here, and they're going deeper and deeper into our world's problems of global warming. 50.70 billion, they have 50.7 billion tons of carbon in their country. Even though that India or China is about 3.5 times, they have 3.5 times as much people in their country than they do. And India and China only have about 4.2 billion tons of carbon dioxide in their countries, which means that it's not the population problems. It's the rich nations trying to gain more money by making factories, by making cars. And these cars, they're not manufactured and they didn't come from the poor nations. The poor nations buy them off of the rich nations. So in conclusion, we say that rich nations have the money, the power, and the resources to be helping the poor nations in the global warming process, the global warming problems. Thank you.
Thank you, the leader of affirmative team. Your time is 3 minutes. So next we would like to invite the leader of negative team. Please welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and judges. So I think earth warming is not the responsibility of rich nation because we live in this world. We know what happened now. There are many problems about the pollution and many problems that's from earth warming. I think earth warming is the responsibility of all because if we try to solve this problem, it will be better than we will let a rich nation solve this problem alone. How can you know that in 10 years later, Songkla will disappear in Thailand? The cause of this problem is we don't reserve the environment and we don't go many forests. We just make more problem. You can know nowadays. We always follow the news that there are many disasters happening around the world. It can let us know that even rich countries, every rich nations make this problem, but there are many effects to all countries in this world. If you have said USA make many pollutions and many cause of this problem, but if we have a flood or a big water catch our city, not only USA, but it will be around the world. You can observe nowadays the balance of natural is not stable. It has changed. So at least we can do a bit, but I think this will be a big gap of all. So at last, I hope you all, when you back home, you will help to stop this problem. Even it will be a little, but I think it will be better than nowadays. Thank you.
Thank you for the leader of the negative. Your time was 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Next, we will continue to the second affirmative. Please welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, judges, ladies and gentlemen. As the other team said that 10 years after this, we will just make more problem. We will just don't resolve the problem. What is it? When you're talking about we are resolving it. We are trying to clean, to make our Samila beach very beautiful. And the rich nation, of course, the rich nation has more car, has more factories, have more electricity, have more people to use, have more demands and supply. Yes, and they just produce lots of carbon dioxide into the air, and this is blamed to the poor nation. The poor nation just don't have enough technology to take care of their air pollution. They just blame it to the country that are not able to help themselves. And also the poor nation have less capable and they produce and the rich nation blame that the poor nation produce more pollution. But in fact, no, the rich nation has produced more than the poor. Poor nation doesn't really have a factory, cars, but their main income comes out from agriculture, like fishing, like growing coconuts. That's all the poor nation do to make them surviving. While the rich nation are producing a factory, have lots of factories that are producing the toy for children. That is for fun. That is not fair for the poor nation. So even the poor care about their air pollution, about the global warming. They can't control the people. Their people have no education, and they have no idea what to do about this problem. So if you say that we should give the education to give how to do with the global warming, well, it's not that easy to teach all the people in the whole country. And so the rich nations has more ready, and they are a developed country. So if they have that potential to help others, why not they use it to help others? And not only to help others, but help our world. Thank you.
Thank you. The second affirmative. Your time was 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So next we will continue for the second negative. So please welcome.
Hi. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I'm Supriya Kursing, and I'm negative team. So what did you just say? You say like, sorry, I don't feel very good today because I fainted this morning. Okay, so let's talk about the global warming, right? So we really disagree about the global warming is the responsibility of just for rich nation. I think it's because of all people. Because why? Because the rich nation, they produce the products. So what they sell for who? They sell from who? You know, they sell for around the world. They sell for everyone around the world, right? So who use that products? Everyone. All of everyone in every country use that. So I think just not only rich nations as responsibility for the people in rich nations. I think it's because everyone have to help each other. Then why we don't just reduce using the products from rich country and try to fly something in their own country, and that will help that will make the factories maybe in America will reduce to cut the trees or destroy the environment too. Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you.
Thank you for the second negative. Your time was 1 minute and 26 seconds. So we will continue to the third affirmative side. Please welcome.
Good morning, judges, ladies. Good morning, Mr. Speaker, judges, ladies, and gentlemen. The other team said that in the rich nations, they have a lot of factories, but the poor nation, we use all of the products that come from that factories. And yes, we do use the products from that factories, but the money that we buy their products, it won't make the rich nation have the place in the world. If they don't have the money from the poor nation that buy that stuff, that work as a labor, and how could they become rich and have the place to stand in the world? And should they give something back to this world, to our society? Earth warming caused by carbon dioxide, factories, and burning fossil fuels. And if you compare America with Kenya, South Africa, and Cambodia. Who has the most potential to make carbon dioxide to this world? Of course, America. And we didn't say that poor nation didn't cause any pollution at all. Yes, we did cause some pollution, but not as much as the rich nations. We cause pollution, but we have trees. And the trees use the carbon dioxide in the air and give out the oxygen. And what do the rich nations have? They have all the kind of buildings and factories. Do they have any trees on the street? Like America, they all have tall, high buildings, but they don't have any trees. We do everything that we can help the world. And what about you, the rich nation? How do you take all the effort that you have to help this world, to give back to the environment, to give back to the resources? Because you use all the resources to build a factory. If you think one factory, how many trees that you have to cut down? How many land that you have to use? And how many waste water, waste air that you release into our environment? You use the resources to make your own benefits. And why don't you just think of giving back to this world? And the other team also said that the problem is not, it is not the responsibility of the rich nation to take care of the environment, to deal with the earth warming. It's not because the rich nation have the factories, but it's because of that we don't grow plants, we don't grow trees. But the occupation of the poor countries are agriculture, fishing, farming. We grow trees every day. And how can you say that we don't grow trees at all? I think we should, the rich nation should take the first step now before it's too late to blame anyone. Thank you.
Thank you for the third of affirmative. Your time was 3 minutes and 6 seconds. So the next we shall continue to the third of negative. So please welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Well, for me, I really disagree that the global warming is the responsibility of rich nation. I really don't agree with that at all. Because you see, everybody, in the rich nation, they produce out like products, like they produce car, and that's make when the people use that car, everybody in the world use it. And it will make a lot of pollution. And it's not just like the rich nation are gonna look after or their responsibility. It's everybody's responsibility that they have to look after this. And then like the other side said that the forest, growing forest, if it is growing, making the forest or growing trees for the forest, it just like, are they gonna do this for themselves? Everybody have to help for that, is that right? And so I think that it's everybody's responsibility that they have to taking care of this. It's not just like their responsibility of rich nation. Like if they just say that the rich nation have the responsibility for this, and what about the other people? I think it's gonna say, oh, rich nation America can look after this. No, I disagree with that. So I think that the earth warming is not the responsibility of rich nation, and it's all, and it's everybody that have to look out for it. Thank you.
Thank you for the third of negative. Your time was 1 minute and 42 seconds. So we will continue to the reply speaker of the negative. So please welcome.
Okay, good morning everybody. Once again. Okay, we know rich country have many factory in their country. Yes, we know. But why? Why we don't think about the effect of it? Rich country only know and just develop your country and for all poor nations, but you don't care about the environment. You know about this too, but you don't solve the problem seriously. You just realize about it just 10 years ago. It can't even plan. Okay, but if we cut down on using technology that rich nations take it to poor nation, did it reason that poor nation had a responsibility to solve this problem, because there are many technology in poor nation that come from rich nation. It's make the people don't know to show their ability and his life and their life. If we know the truth of this problem, it will be good. But now we don't know about that. I think the pollution that you have said, there are many cars, there are pollution in this country. I want to say that's right, but in Bangkok, in Thailand, it's Cambodia, in Laos, there are two, but it's not the last area. It's just a bit, it's just a little area to give off a carbon dioxide gas or a gas or the parts of Earth warming. Okay, at last, I want to sum up that we go many forests and we realize about the cause of Earth warming. It will be good and it will be a good step to solve this problem. Thank you.
Thank you for the reply speaker of negative team. Your time was 3 minutes and 14 seconds. So next we shall continue to the reply speaker of affirmative. So please welcome.
Good morning again, everybody. I'd just like to mention that we are doing all we can in our poor nations to solve these problems. But there's so much that we can do, only so much that we can do, because we don't have the funds or the necessary means of technology to solve all these problems. America, the rich nations, they have the choice to make cleaner technology, to be solving the problems of this technology. And the Thai or the poor nations, they only have so much money, and their money is used to buy that technology, but they can only buy the cheap kind, which means that they don't have as much problem-solving materials inside of that doesn't make them give off more pollution. Also, the industry is changing, and America is changing it. They are making these problems, they are growing in their nations, and they are building more and more technology, which they are using themselves. And as my fellow speaker said, that we are buying from them, we are giving them our money by buying their materials. So they would necessarily have more money than us to be evolving and to be solving these problems for us. We're not saying that we can't do anything, but we are doing something. We are trying to help, but they're sitting around and making money and thinking not only of their, I mean, they don't even think of their own country. Look at their country, it's dirty, it's pollution, it's everywhere. And this is not a kind of country that we were meant to live in. We were meant to breathe clean air. If you go into the town, into the cities now, they have all this pollution that you can barely breathe in. Also, in the poor nations, they barely have enough money to feed their own people, let alone cleaning up all the pollution and making technology to solve this pollution problem. When they can't, how do you expect them to do these things when they can't even feed the mouths of their own people in their community? You can compare the rich and poor families, because the rich people, they get the latest technology for their children, while the poor kids only get these book dictionaries, while the other kids have talking dictionaries. Can you see the difference on how much more they can be useful in a talking dictionary and a paperback dictionary? This is the difference between the money problems, and this is how the rich nations can help our poorer nations. Also, as you said, natural disasters are everywhere. But yes, they are everywhere. Even Thailand has them. But who is actually behind these? Who is actually the one causing these problems? Who is the big person, the big problem in this world behind all these natural disasters, behind the fires, behind the earth warming? It's the richer nations that bring off more exhaust fumes and more problems, and they have the money to take care of it, they have the means to take care of it, but do they care enough about this world to be taking care of it? They need to care more about the world around them, let alone the people in the other nations that don't have enough money or means of technology to be taking care of this problem. They need to take matters into their hands and to be helping the others in the other countries. Thank you.
Thank you again for the reply speaker of affirmative team. Your time was 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Okay, while we are waiting for our lovely educators to sum up the result, we are going to have a break.
And the next couple will be the competition between Phuket HatYai School and PSU HatYai School. And the sub-motion will be...
This house believes that force is necessary to make peace. Affirmative team is PSU HatYai School and negative team is Phuket HatYai School.
Alright, shall we introduce by the affirmative team by the PSU HatYai School. By the leader of the affirmative, we got Ms. Nawapon Asnagonchai as the leader. As the second speaker will be Mr. Wisrut Metasip of the affirmative. And the third speaker of the affirmative will be Mr. Tamawut Pokatikon.
And also the negative side, you have got Miss Sutapa Watanavivekun as the first negative. And the second negative is Miss Aini Malakrong. And the last one is Mr. Kongpun Suwanimit.
Alright people, are you ready now? Yeah. Okay, let's start the debate competition on the motion of this house believes that
force is necessary to make peace.
Please welcome the leader of affirmative to speak, to give a speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to tell you that force is necessary to make peace. First, I would like to define force. Force is a strong influence through physical action mental, verbal, or economic persuasion. Force gives the government stability. Force brings attention, and force is needed in some situations. Well, I will tell you about how force creates stability, and then my teammates will clarify you on examples on force. Well, first, how could a government be a stabilized government without any force backing them up? How could a government control their people? Even if the government is a democratic government, the government in a democratic government still needs the force from its people, still needs the backup of its people, and still need force to enforce laws, enforce on criminals acts and terrorism. So I believe that force is vital for any government to create stability. In some cases, when negotiation and diplomacy fail, force is needed. Like in terrorist act, how do you propose that we negotiate with terrorists? I believe not, especially in the southern part of Thailand. Who do you propose that we negotiate? No one, I believe. So apart from that, force also brings attention to some areas where innocent people are harmed, are killed daily. There's nothing to bring worldwide attention to this area. Force is needed. Thus, force brings attention and brings more help internationally to the area where people are oppressed by the government. Force with the people to struggle to free themselves from these governments, bring international helps from the UN and from other countries to help negotiate and to help clear out the problem by using international independence force. And also, how do you propose that we give the rights of the people who are under the oppressor? They surely have no human rights under the oppressor. So I believe that this is the time when force is truly necessary to free these people from their oppressor. And who would deny the rights to have a life, the right to have freedom, the right to have education, the right to have health, to have any public infrastructure that the government gives to its people? Who denies these rights to these people who are under the oppressor? Well, I believe that none of you would like these people to be oppressed. And I believe that these people surely need violence and any kind of force to help them from their state of oppression. So that is why we surely believe that force is necessary to make peace when no diplomacy or any other type of persuasion is possible. So that is why force is necessary to make peace. Thank you very much.
The speech time was 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So this time I would like to welcome the leader of Negative to give speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Suthapa Wattanavitethkul and I'm from Phuket Vidyalaya School. Today I'm the first speaker from the Negative House, and I want to assure all of you that the topic that force is necessary to make peace is absolutely untrue. Why do I say this? Okay, my first reason is I believe that we can talk to everybody because the mind is what dictates what we are doing or what we are thinking. So if you want to kill someone, we have got to kill them from their minds. And my second reason is force is going to make all the problem even worse. Because when you destroy someone or kill someone, they gotta revenge you back, and that's going to make the problem even worse. And my third reason is peace from force is something that I believe is not stable peace. Because the peace that is occurring right now is the peace that because the people are afraid of you, because they are afraid of your power. But one day, when they gain enough power, everything is going to be even worse. They gotta fight back to you. And now, my fourth reason is, why don't you just give the bad people the second chance to, try to be the good people? And according to my first reason, I believe that we can talk to everyone. When you think about peace, I think about harmony and unity. But when I think about force, I think about destroying, killing, and bad things. These two things are absolutely different. Can you remember that when we first born, we were all pure, virgin, and very good? It's the environment and the people around us that shaped us into the person we are now. It's the same as them. So, if we can clear all the bad things that other people have put into their mind, I believe that everybody is a good person. And everybody wants to be a good person. Is there any one of you here want to be a bad person, to be called that you're a dictator or good people? No, I believe not. But they are the bad people right now because they have no chance or they believe in the wrong thing, so we have got to cure it. And as the first speaker from the affirmative house have said about the government, I want to ask you if the peace that you're having right now because you oppress your people by all your power, one day if they gain enough power, then they gotta kill you back and fight back. So anyway, I believe that force is absolutely not necessary to make peace and is going to make everything even worse. Thank you.
So right now, please welcome the second speaker of affirmative team to give a speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. From what our negative team has said, that force begets violence. I don't think it's true. Why? Because force, when you just try to help someone, and you have, our country is democratic country, right? When you use force to protect our people, that's what government have to do. We protect our people. Force is not always against violence. Force may stop violence. Violence is bad thing, but we're not talking that force is violence. Force, in my and our team definition, is the power to protect, not to attack. Like for example, if our country is being attacked, are we supposed to negotiate and ask them, oh, can you just go back and we'll give just a little part of the country to you? I don't think so. It's just, oh, we are going and going, and we are going to get to Bangkok and conquer the city, right? Now we have to use force to protect our innocent citizens. We have to protect all. That's what democratic country has to do. Not just negotiate and let the innocent people die. And second, terrorism. What are you thinking? Terrorism? Are we supposed to negotiate them? Are we supposed to let people die again? Not a chance, I would say. We, democratic country, have to protect our people. And when you negotiate with countries, when we negotiate with terrorists, they just want more and more. Do you think that you negotiate, like you give them some money and they will just give back the hostage? I don't think so. They're just going to have a hostage and want more and more. And when we negotiate with the terrorists, more terrorists will come and they will just ask for more, and that's a very bad thing. And with the negative team that said that you can talk to everyone, let's just admit this. In the southern part of Thailand, we have terrorists. And we have tried so hard to talk to the person behind this thing. And is there anyone? No. There's no one who is responsible. There's no one who we can talk to. There's no one who we can negotiate with. So, we are supposed to use force to protect our people, to let them live in peace. And the negative team has said that everyone wants to be good. Let's just say that we not live in the ideal world. We live in the true world, my friends. We live in the real world. Not everybody is good as they look. Not everybody is bad as they look. They are just mixed. There's no one who always wants to be good. Someone just wants power. And we have to use force to stop these people from destroying any innocent and good people. And that's why I believe force is necessary to make peace. Thank you.
This time was 3 minutes and 13 seconds. So at this time, please welcome the second speaker of negative team to give a speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aimee Maragong. I'm from the negative team. And I would say that force is not necessary to make peace. Why? For my first reason, force will only make everything get worse by making people want to revenge. If you kill someone's family, they would want to kill you back, and they would start fighting by killing you back. And if they keep fighting, they will never have peace in this world. And for my second reason, we are using negotiation nowadays, not force. For example, if two students are fighting and the teacher come in and try to stop them, do they fight with them? No. They use negotiation to stop them. They try to solve the problem. They try to understand, make two persons understand each other, and that was the end of the problem. For my third reason, have you ever heard about water stop fire? It's the same thing with force. If you use force, that means you use fire to stop fire. And that's only going to make the fire get bigger. And that would never ever make peace in this world. And for my fourth reason, peace by force is not stable, because people still keep trying to kill each other, as my first teammates say. For my fifth reason, you need to give people a second chance. Not only do you do bad thing one time and they become bad people and they need to be killed. No, you need to give them a second chance to prove themselves that they can change. I believe that people can change. And the other team say about the terrorism. I think they understood it wrongly. If you use force, you need to change their mind, not using force. They say that if you've been attracting and you need to force back, you need to use force and fight them back. It means that if you are attracting, it means that you have force. They think you are strong, so they need to attack you. And if you fight them back, it's only going to make the war. And if the war is happening in this world, there's never ever going to be peace. You think war is going to make peace? Fighting them back? No. So I believe that force is not necessary to make peace in this world. Thank you very much.
Please continue for the next debater, the third speaker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our house believes that force is necessary to make peace. From what the first speaker of our house has said, that force is mental, verbal, physical, and economical persuasion. I believe the opposition has only mistaken force for its physical attributes. There are still mental and verbal persuasion, which they have been talking about, is talking to other people, negotiating. Isn't that verbal force? And when they said that fires can only be put out by water, if we look at bushfires, big fires, would water put that out? No. How are bushfires put out? Bushfires are put out by burning the forest around using force so that the fire can't spread any further. That's using force against force. So you see, the fire stops. But if you put water on the fire spreads because there's oxygen in the water. And that causes the fire to get bigger and bigger. Another very good example is a candle. A candle is like humanity, human beings. And the flame on the candle is like violence. What stops us from getting peace? If we were to leave this fire to burn and burn and burn, think of what would happen to the candle. What would happen to mankind? If we leave it, if we talk to the flame, how can we talk to a flame? But think, if we blow up the candle, a gust of wind, it's gone. The problem's gone. So you see, force can stop peace, and it is necessary to stop peace, everybody. And in the past, we have tried negotiations. Look at World War I. After World War I, we negotiated with the surrounding countries. And what's the result? Bad negotiations. And that led to World War II. More violence. So to summarize what our house has said is that force is a strong influence, physical, mental, verbal, or economical persuasion. And we are a democratic country. And without force, what is a government? What does a government have? Force is what the government has. It's the stability of the government. Without force, may I ask, what does the government have? How is the government going to look after us without any force? Would we listen to the government? So I conclude that force is necessary to make peace. And may the force be with you always. Thanks very much.
Time was 3 minutes and 11 seconds. So this time, please welcome our speaker of negative team to give a speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think he watched too much movie. We are not in Star Wars. We are in the lift. The topic said that it is force necessary to make peace. No. Why? You know, negotiation have to come first, because when you negotiation, no war spent, no blood has, no people dying. You stop them. You stop people from dying. We didn't do a war or stop peace. You kill someone dying. You know, it's all like Thailand now. They say that force that government has it. The second speaker said that no one can speak in the Sultan of Thailand. There's someone there, but you can find him. There's someone to talk to. Everybody can talk to each other, but you didn't because you used force. Is that right? Thank you. Even you, Miss Dr. Yoshifumi, you're from Japan, I'm from Thailand. We speak different language, but you understand what I'm saying in English. So when I want ask you to sit down, I ask you in Thai, but you didn't understand it. I didn't beat him. I just translated it into English because everyone can talk. Like my friend said, everyone can share. Everyone has a second share in this life. The second speaker said that no one wants to be a good one, or I think but myself. Everyone tries to be a good one, but there are misunderstanding. There are a lot of people that trying to do something good, but they don't like in the wrong way. Like example in Korea, in the North Korea, did USA use force in North Korea to stop them developing the nuclear? Hell no. Right? They use negotiation, they use democracy, they talk to them, they speak to them, so they stop developing that nuclear war. So the third speaker said, force against force, I think it's more violent than that. Force against force is stop violence, I think force against force, more war, more blood, more people will die in this war. Are you going to let it happen? No, man. And he said that stop us to getting war with force. I think stop us to getting peace with war. And he said World War II, and thank you for that. I believe that it's not necessary to make a force. Thank you.
reply from the negative team, please.
Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. According to all my friends, you must have heard many good things about how we can solve the problem without the force. Okay, I'll remind you at the conclusion again. The first reason is, I believe that everybody can talk, and everybody can talk, and that's why we have our mouth. And without negotiation, you just use your arm, you just use your brain or whatever bad thing with your opponent. So why you have your mouth for? We gotta negotiate, we gotta use a sanction or whatever. And my second reason, force is going to make everything worse. Force is something very bad. So you just cannot say that force can make peace, because force is destroying, dying, killing, sanctioning, oppressing, and all the bad things. And my third reason is, peace from the force is something not stable, because they become free. We are having the peace right now because we are all like feeling like afraid of the power. So it's not the peace that really occurs to your mind or to your heart or to your brain. And my fourth reason, like the affirmative side said that we it's nonsense to give the bad people the second chance. I think we can say that because all the bad people are not our family. But one day, if your children or your daughter do something wrong, do you want to give them a second chance? The second chance is something very important, because they just misunderstood it, because they just believe in the wrong thing, because all the bad people make them become what they are doing and what they are doing right now. But you've got to give them a second chance. And my fifth reason is, you can say, negotiation and sanction can absolutely work, like in the North Korea. If without the US or the UN still don't use the force, that problems can still be solved. It's because of negotiation and because of tension. They don't even have to lose the people, their money or whatever. And my sixth reason about the terrorism. You say that you cannot talk to them, you cannot find anyone to talk to. It's because we still haven't tried to talk to the leader of the terrorism. Okay, you understand? Because everything that can be done must have the person who ordered everything. So if you talk to him, ask him what he really wants, or and if you can give them, or you can negotiate to them, everything will be solved. Absolutely. And my seventh reason about you said that we are not in the ideal world when everybody wants to be good people, right? And I think the reason why all of us are now very selfish or want to be bad people just because we want to be rich is because the environment and the media and whatever, because we have seen so many force in the using of army too often, so we think that this world is already gone bad and you have got to have your power to become good. But exactly, we all want to be good people and good person. So anyway, I believe that the use of force can only make everything worse. And I don't believe that force is necessary to make peace. Thank you.
Thank you for your speaker. Your time was 10 minutes and 19 seconds. It's time for continue. Please welcome the
speaker from the affirmative team. Thank you.
Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. First, I think the negative team has to have a review on the current situation right now. North Korea, they said that negotiation and sanction prevents US making war with North Korea. Well, as our definition implies to verbal and economic sanction, well, the sanction the US and the world are having towards North Korea now is another type of force. Economic persuasion is force. So I believe we need a review on the current situation now. And well, when you say things about second chance, can I ask you, does Hitler, does Osama bin Laden deserve a second chance? Well, what about the people who died in the World War I? Or what about the people who died from the World Trade situation? Do they get a second chance? Who's going to give them a second chance because now they're in the graveyard? So if you're going to give them a second chance, think about the people who died. Think about it. If these people are one of your family, and you're going to say that, well,
you're so angelic and you're going to give Hitler a second chance, you're going to give Osama bin Laden a second chance. I believe not if your family died on 9/11. And another thing, force is the solution to many current situations right now. In the south part of Thailand, you say you want to negotiate. I ask who? Who are you going to negotiate? I see no one claiming responsibility for the situation in the south of Thailand or other terrorist happenings around our world. When not the Korean situation where the Taliban has grabbed some hostages from Korea, well, you say that you want the Korean and the UN to negotiate with the Taliban. Think about what they will ask. They will ask to release a lot of prisons from the UN side, and you're going to release these prisons so they could create more violence to our world? I believe not. So that is why we need force to contain the situation within its areas, so it would not harm and affect other areas of the earth, and it would not harm and kill other people, innocent lives, your lives and my lives. So I believe that is why force is so necessary. Force can be used effectively. Again, I use the example of the south of Thailand. We here are living in HatYai, an hour away from Narathiwat, an hour away from Pattani, and we don't feel any harm towards that situation. Why? Because the government has used force to contain the situation within the area. And without force, there would be bombings, small bombings in HatYai and even Bangkok and Chiang Mai. Would you want that? Can be used because it creates more violence. I ask the rights of the oppressed, the people who are under the oppression of another type of force, under the oppression of other people. Do they deserve their human rights? Do they deserve the right to be free, the right to have a life? And you deny that right to them because you want to negotiate with someone further away? I believe not. Look at yourself. Think if you're one day, if you're in a situation where you are oppressed by some people, would you like to sit there and wait for someone on the other side of the world to negotiate your freedom? I believe not. And I believe as we are the same humanity here, we're living on the same world, I believe that none of us want our human friends to be oppressed. None of us want human friends to be in that situation where we are denied to our human rights. So I believe that every one of us here needs a solution, and force is definitely a solution when negotiation and diplomacy fail. And we have seen the failure of these two solutions before. We have seen it in World War I, and we have seen it in many situations. So I would like you to consider, do you believe in humanity? Do you believe in mankind? Do you believe in our race? If you do believe so, you will see the urgency that force is needed to create peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your clearly clear speech. Your time was 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Interesting.
Yes.
Ready now?
So
let's start.
So let's start the debate competition by the fourth debate competition between Modern National School and PSU HatYai School.
Alright, so very cool, huh?
Yes, that's right.
And let's introduce by affirmative from Walanali School first. So the leaders is Miss Benedict Hyver. And second affirmative is Mr. Akrapon Tongpoon. Next is the third affirmative is Miss Malika Hintali.
On the other side, the negative team from PSU HatYai School as the leaders of the team, we got Miss Namapan Asanangonchai. As the second speaker of negative, we got Mr. Visru Mekasi. And the last one for the third speaker of negative, we got Mr. Tamawun Pokatikon.
we start a debate competition on the final round right now?
Sure, why not? I think everybody here looking forward to see this match right now.
Of course. So, by the final round, on the motion of
this house believes that the examination can stifle progress. So please welcome the leader of the affirmative to give a speech. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody, Mr. Speaker, judges, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're on the subject, does examination stifle the education progress? And we say that yes, it does. Because number one, the students in high school or in university or in bottom school, in primary school, they only study for the next test to get to the next level. And only studying for a test doesn't get you anywhere because you can't use that information that you get because you're only studying for the test, and after the test, you don't think of what's to come after that. You don't think that you'll need these things, these information in your later life. Therefore, you don't even care about if you forget it or not. Like once you finish the final test, you go out and party with your friends. Oh yeah, we finished the test, we're now in holiday. But do you actually, are you actually going to use that information in your later life? Also, examinations limits your amount of expression. You can't express what you actually think in these examinations because sometimes they are choice questions. You have to take one choice and you can't even say why you answer this question. So it doesn't really make you think about what you're doing because you're only there for one answer and you don't actually figuring out why is it this answer, what happens after this. Also, examinations, they are making the qualities of the examinations lower because they want their students to get higher points. They want their schools to look good. So, they are making the quality of the examinations go lower and lower, so the points, they believe, will go higher and higher to make their school look good, to make their school look that they have quality in that school. When the examinations are going lower and lower, and these is making the students going dumber. Also, it's not making use of these facts because in the test they only have, as I said, one question, one answer. You don't know the facts behind these. Also, there are so many other ways to assess students. Examinations is not the only way to see how a student has risen, has gotten better in their studying, has made their points greater, and has had a reason to be educated. You don't see how or why they are studying. Also, it takes the humanity out of the education because all the students study for is this test, and after this test, they don't care. So, there's no humanity in it, it's only in the brain. Also, there's no teaching use for it because, so in conclusion, we say that examinations are a machine. They eat up, swallow the students, swallow the schools, and are swallowing the education process. Thank you.
The time was 3 minutes 15 seconds. And now please welcome the leader from the negative team to give a speech.
Good afternoon, judges, ladies and gentlemen. Well, from my point and from our stand in this debate, we seem to think that the affirmative have clearly misunderstood the concept of examination when they say that students only study to pass their exams and study for the next level. I believe not. Do you have proof for that? I believe that many students in primary school and lower primary school, like in kindergarten, they study for the next level and they only study for the sake of the knowledge. How many students in primary school study for a test? I don't think so. They study multiplication, they study addition just so they can have the knowledge and can use them on forward. So I believe that your point is not good enough to say that. And Well, even though they study for the test, it's better than they don't study at all, right? Because if they don't have if they don't have examination to motivate them, what would they study for? I don't see no point. Well, I don't see any points. And when you say that it limits our expression, well, have you heard of written examination? I believe not, because you only say about choices for examination. Well, in the real world, there are written examinations, and you can express your feeling and your thoughts and your creativity to those examinations. And about lowering the quality of exams, well, I don't see that in my school, but I doubt that there would be that lowering the exams in your school. But well, we live in Thailand, and there has been entrance examination, O-NET and A-NET, which are in the national level and are in the same standards throughout the nation. And there is no lowering of any standards to make any school look better, because the student in the school would truly prove that they are better or not by their GPA average that is lower when you have O-NET examination, and if your school have lower point, it will lower your GPA points in your school. So I believe that's not valid. And another thing, it stops students from making use of facts. It's not true, because we analyze the facts before we can answer these exams. And I believe if you're saying that we going blind to the examination room without analyzing any facts, I think you would absolutely fail the exam. And we believe that examination improves students because they tend to make students work harder. They tend to have motivation for students. We seem to have another point for studying for the exam, and yes, it helps us cope with stress, because in examination we deal with stress, and there are more stresses in real life than in examination room, so it helps us handle stress. And well, another thing, it shows the teacher which student needs help. This shows the educational values of examination. So we believe that examination improves students, not stifle their progress. Thank you very much.
Leader of negative team, your time was 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So next we shall continue to the second of affirmative. So please welcome.
Speaker, judges, ladies and gentlemen. The other team said that they are studying for the sake of the knowledge. But in your school, it's just in your school. But there are lots of rural schools that don't have enough quality as your school. Like my school. Okay? No, but other school. Yes, I used to have a friend, and she used to live in some rural school, and then she moved here because she thought that she was very intelligent. She used to get like 3.9 in her grades, and then when she moved, when she changed her school to my school, then she get like just 3.1. Then she realized that the quality of her school is just lower, and that the examination just doesn't motivate students to study more and more. It's just how it limits student in that school. We don't have the same quality in the whole country. Okay. And other thing of school is, there's always been a cheating in Thailand examination. You're gonna have to agree to that, because a lot of students in my school or in the other school are cheating when they're doing an exam. Like when this class were taking an exam first, and then this class would be the lowest score of this test, because this class would tell the other class, and they would get a higher score. And one who is not cheating the exam, they are going to be such a loser in the one who copying exam. Because they're such a nerd, why did not copy is easier? And then they get a lower score because they are honest. That is how examinations work. It's not right at all. And they are also test on everything. We are not a genius. We are not good at everything. Why do you have to study everything? Why do you have to take a test on everything? So, it doesn't make a good habit. study after the exam. And so, there's no learning in the exam. Well, I said that already. And in conclusion, why don't we teach them to know how to solve the problem, to learn, to do a research, to negotiate with other people, to have a teamwork, instead of just let them do a 24 memory examination day by day to survive. Thank you.
Your time was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And now please welcome the second speaker from the negative team.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For what the affirmative team has said, that the exam doesn't help us solve the problem, I ask you, what is the test? What is the writing test for? Writing tests help us in critical thinking. It helps us. For example, in my school, we do have a test in biology, and it's go like this. Once upon a time, there's a God in the sky, and we live in the earth, and we are cheering for the team. And then the God just didn't like the sound at all. So they cursed these people, and they became silent. And the question is, what part of the brain is not functioning? I would say that is very critical thinking, because we have to know first what makes us be able to speak and what happened to us when we cannot speak, right? So that means that we need critical thinking to solve the problem, and the test, exam, give us that. And when you say that rural school is not good enough, I asked you, that's what the national test for. We measure all the whole country school to the same standard. Exam is the only way. If we just depend on just project work or just some school and in class work, it's not going to be the same, because we have the different standard. And national exam help us solve that problem, isn't it? And when you say that, why do we have to study everything? I would say that the reason we have to study everything, because we don't know what we are proficient at, what we are good at. And by studying it, maybe you don't know. Maybe you study mechanics and then you like it. So you go that way and you're happy with it. But if you never study it, you know that you are going to like it. If you are going to be good at it, right? So now let's get to my point. My point is that the tests also help us to know what our talents is. Like maybe we know that we are good at biology, then that means that maybe we can be a doctor. We're not going to be someone who just digging and digging, right? And, excuse me, study for the test, I believe, it's better not study at all. It's better than not studying at all. Why? Because we all need knowledge to work in our life. Are we going to be like in the future and we have a son or daughter and they said, oh, what is hypothalamus? And we said, oh, I don't know, I didn't study at all. No, we don't want to be that kind of people, right? We want to be sociable. We need to contact to our children. We need to pass this knowledge to our children. And that's why we need exam. The exam help us to know and we have motivation in studying. And it will help our country. And that's exactly why we need exam, to improve our country, ourselves, our family, and our future. Thank you.
Thank you for the second of negative. Your time was 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And next we shall continue to the third of affirmative to give a speech.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, judges, ladies and gentlemen. The first speaker of the other team said that the examination helps us to deal with our stress. But haven't you ever heard on the newspaper or on the TV that people who fail the admission to get to the college commit a suicide and they jump up on the 10th floor of the building and they die because of that they don't pass the test? Is this right? people to deal with the stress. Just make them to deal with in the wrong way. And the point of studying, the other team said that if we don't have a text, what is the point of studying? The point of the studying is to get to know something better than you know it before. And we don't have to take a test to show the other that, oh, I got A on this subject. Oh, I'm so smart. I'm smarter than you. We don't have to show the other people how well we can do it. We just know ourselves and know who we are, what we know. That's it. That's enough. We don't have to. And the other team also said that the test in Thailand now, we don't have only multiple choice, but we also have writing tests. But the writing test in our country is only just memorizing the line. As you say, what is the brain? What is the function of the brain? See, you have to read a book and memorize that line. If you just write it wrong, just one word, maybe you cannot pass that test. And about the international test, that you say all of the schools don't have the same quality, and that's why we have the national test. And I took the national test when I was in freshman, and now I'm in a senior, and I haven't heard about the result of that score yet. And if this test, why haven't they sent me the score of that so I can improve myself? And now, as the other team said that if we don't have a test, when we have the children, when the children ask us, oh, mom, dad, what is that? What is the longest bridge in Thailand? And in the test that you took when you were in a high school, say that Dindasu London Bridge on choice A, and that's it. You can answer that. That's the answer. But if you don't take a test and read the whole books or watch the TV, the educational TV, you can tell your children that when it was built and how it was built and what is the importance of Dindasu London Bridge. You can tell all of the detail and all the information about Dindasu London Bridge. Not only what is the longest bridge in Thailand. And our life is not only about A, B, C, D. We have, after we graduated, we have to meet a lot of people, deal with a lot of problems. We cannot use only A, B, C, D to manage our life. And now, everyone wants to go to the good school, good college, and those colleges chosen by the test. And if we don't pass that test, we cannot go to the good school. And those people who fail the test will think that, oh, I'm so stupid, I couldn't get to that college like my friends do. And they will be ashamed of themselves all the rest of their life. And is it fair if only at one test it to mean the future of one people? And now the examination. We are producing robots. We are guaranteeing the quality of people by a piece of paper, by their memorizing skill. And now we are lack of the people who really understand what they are learning right now. Thank you.
The speaker of affirmative team, this time was 4 minutes and 5 seconds. And now please welcome the third speaker from the negative team to get his speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. From what the affirmative side has said that examinations are machines. These machines were created by human beings. And who would create a machine not to be a good thing for humankind? Everyone would create it to be better, to improve our students. Who would create examinations to stifle their progress? Who? And when I say exams stifle progress, I believe it's not the exam's fault. It's the students' fault. If the students know why they're doing these exams, not just that they have to do this, but the reason behind this, which is so that they can develop, so that they can remember, and so that the teachers can assess us and divide us so that they can improve our talents, because we all are different. We have different talents.